Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we are going to do second part of chapter 1 for class ninth science. Now, let's start with the first topic for today, which is states of matter. Observe different types of matter around you. What are its different states? We can see that matter around us exists in three different states: solid, liquid, and gas. These states of matter arise due to the variation in the characteristics of the particles of matter. Now, let us study about the properties of these three states of matter in detail. What this says, we all have seen different kinds of matter, different kinds of things around us. And we all know all these things have its own state, different states. The three states that we have learned till now are solid, liquid, and gases. About solid, liquids, and gases, you all might know as you have studied about them in your previous classes. So, let's start with the first state of matter, which is the solid state. Activity 1.9. Collect the following articles: a pen, a book, a needle, and a piece of wooden stick. Sketch the shape of above articles in your notebook by moving a pencil around them. Do all these have a definite shape, distinct boundaries, and a fixed volume? What happens if they are hammered, pulled, or dropped? Are these capable of diffusing into each other? Try compressing them by applying force. Are you able to compress them? Now, what this activity says, you have to take some articles like a pen, book, needle, and a wooden stick. First, try dropping them on ground. Does they break? No, none of it will break. Now, try hammering them. Does any of it breaks? Yes. Pen can be broken, needle will change its shape, and the wooden stick will also break. Okay, now can you say whether they will diffuse into each other or not? No, they will not diffuse. Okay, now you have to compress them by applying force. Now you take pen and try compressing them using your hands. Are you able to compress the pen? No, you will not. Similarly, the other things as well, you will not be able to compress. All the above are examples of solids. We can observe that all these have a definite shape, distinct boundaries, and a fixed volumes. That is, have negligible compressibility. Solids have a tendency to maintain their shape when subjected to outside force. Solids may break under force, but it is difficult to change their shape, so they are rigid. अब जो हमने ऊपर पढ़ा वो क्या था? जो सॉलिड्स हैं, सॉलिड्स की एक अपनी शेप होती है, अपनी अलग बाउंड्री होती है और खुद की वॉल्यूम भी होती है. ओके, दैट इज हैव नेग्लिजिबल कंप्रेसिबिलिटी. सॉलिड्स कैन नॉट बी कंप्रेस्ड. हम उसे प्रेस नहीं कर सकते, हम उसको दबा नहीं सकते सॉलिड को, और उसकी शेप को चेंज नहीं कर सकते. जो सॉलिड्स है उनके पास अपनी जो शेप है उसे मेंटेन करने की पावर होती है उनके पास खुद की. जब उन्हें कोई बाहर से कोई फोर्स अप्लाई करते हैं, जैसे ऊपर हमने बुक के ऊपर पेन के ऊपर अपने हैंड से फोर्स अप्लाई किया था, तो जो पेन था उसकी शेप चेंज नहीं हुई थी. तो हम कह सकते हैं कि जो पेन था उसके पास उसकी खुद की पावर्स है या उसकी टेंडेंसी है जिससे कि वो अपनी शेप को मेंटेन कर पा रहा है. सॉलिड्स में ब्रेक अंडर फोर्स बट इट इज़ डिफ़िकल्ट टू चेंज देयर शेप, सो दे आर रिजिड. जो सॉलिड्स हैं जब उस पर काफ़ी सारा फोर्स अप्लाई किया जाता है, जैसे ऊपर पेन था, पेन पे अगर हम हैमर से मारेंगे तो वो टूट जाएगा, स्टिक को हम हैमर से मारेंगे तो स्टिक भी टूट जाएगी. तो हम कह सकते हैं जो सॉलिड्स होते हैं वो रिजिड होते हैं, हम उनकी शेप चेंज करना थोड़ा डिफ़िकल्ट होता है. कंसिडर द फॉलोइंग. व्हाट अबाउट अ रबर बैंड? कैन इट चेंज इट्स शेप ऑन स्ट्रेचिंग? इज इट अ सॉलिड? Yes, it can be considered as a solid. It is a solid such that it can change its shape on stretching and regains the same when the stretching force is removed. Okay, now, second, what about sugar and salt? When kept in different jars, these take the shape of jars. Are they solid? Yes, sugar and salt can also be considered as a solid because sugar and salt both takes up the shape of their respective jars as the individual crystals of each are small, and many of these small sugar or salt crystals can fill up the empty spaces of a container. Third, what about a sponge? It is a solid, yet we are able to compress it. Why? Sponge is also a solid, but it is a porous solid, which means sponge has minute holes in which air is trapped. When we press it, the air is expelled out and we are able to compress it. Means when we compress a sponge, the air present in the minute holes in the sponge comes out, and inside the sponge vacuum is present at the time. So, a sponge can be compressed easily, but still we count them in solids because they have minute pores in it which are filled with air. Okay. Now, the explanation for the above three questions are given here. All the above are solids as first, rubber band changes shape under force and regains the same shape when the force is removed. If excessive force is applied, it breaks. Second, shape of each individual sugar or salt crystals remains fixed, whether we take it in our hand, put it in a plate or in a jar. A sponge has minute holes in which air is trapped. When we press it, the air is expelled out and we are able to compress it. Now let's move further and read the liquid state. Activity 1.10. Collect the following: water, cooking oil, milk, juice, a cold drink, containers of different shapes. Put a 50 ml mark on these containers using a measuring cylinder from the laboratory. What will happen if these liquids are spilled on the floor? Measure 50 ml of any one liquid and transfer it into different containers one by one. Does the volume remain the same? Does the shape of the liquid remain the same? When you pour the liquid from one container into another, does it flow easily? Okay. What this activity says, you have to take water, cooking oil, milk, juice, and a cool drink and put 50 ml of each in different containers. Okay. Does the volume of each liquid remains the same? Does the shape of liquid remains the same? Or when you pour the liquid from one container into another, does it flow easily? Let's read its observations. We observe that liquids have no fixed shape but have a fixed volume. They take up the shape of the container in which they are kept. Liquids flow and change shape, so they are not rigid but can be called fluid. We observed in the above activity that liquids do not have a fixed shape, but the volume of each and every liquid remains the same. Liquids take the shape of the container in which we keep them, and liquids flow and change its shape, so they are not rigid. Rigid means which has its own shape and can't be compressed. We can change the shape of liquids by pouring it into different containers. What are liquids called? They are called fluids. You have to underline liquids have fixed shape, but liquids do not have a fixed shape but have a fixed volume. This full paragraph you have to underline it. Okay. Refer to activities 1.4 and 1.5, where we saw that solids and liquids can diffuse into liquids. The gases from the atmosphere diffuse and dissolve in water. These gases, especially oxygen and carbon dioxide, are essential for the survival of aquatic animals and plants. Now, We have seen in activity 1.4 and 1.5 that solids and liquids can diffuse into liquids. Means we had the crystals of potassium permanganate which can be dissolved in water. Means the solid particles of potassium permanganate diffused into water, which is a liquid. Similarly, liquids can dissolve into liquids, like when we squeeze lemon, the lemon juice comes out of it, and when we mix it in water, which is a liquid, it gets mixed into it, means it gets diffused into it. Lemon juice is also a liquid and water is also a liquid. Okay. These gases, especially oxygen and carbon dioxide, are essential for the survival of aquatic animals and plants. Now, there are gases which are present in the atmosphere which diffuse into water, which are dissolved in water, like oxygen and carbon dioxide. Oxygen and carbon dioxide are essential components for the survival of aquatic animals because we take oxygen from air, but aquatic animals take oxygen from water. Plants take oxygen from water. All living creatures need to breathe for survival. Aquatic animals can breathe underwater due to the presence of dissolved oxygen in water. Thus, we may conclude that solids, liquids, and gases can diffuse into liquids. Okay, all living creatures, each and every creature needs oxygen for survival. For example, aquatic animals, they breathe underwater because oxygen is present in water, and they takes oxygen present in water through gills. We take oxygen present in atmosphere through our nostrils. Okay. Thus, we may conclude that solids, liquids, and gases can diffuse into liquids. So, we can say that solids and liquids, also gases, can diffuse in liquids. Solids and liquids, I told you about how they can diffuse in liquids. Gases also diffuse in liquids, like oxygen is dissolved in water. Rate of diffusion of liquids is higher than that of solids. The rate of diffusion of liquids dissolve more than solids, means liquid diffuse faster than solids. This is due to the fact that in liquid state particles move freely and have greater space between each other as compared to particles in solid state. This happens because solids are tightly packed molecules. Solids have tightly packed molecules or particles, but liquids have loosely packed particles. So they have more spaces present between them and they can diffuse easily and have higher rate of diffusion. The gaseous state. Have you ever observed a balloon seller filling a large number of balloons from a single cylinder of gas? Inquire from him how many balloons is he able to fill from one cylinder. Ask him which gas does he have in the cylinder. Activity 1.11. Take 300 ml syringes and close their nozzles by rubber cork, as shown in figure 1.4. Remove the pistons from all the syringes, leaving one syringe untouched. Fill water in the second and pieces of chalk in the third. Insert the piston back into the syringes. You can apply some Vaseline on the piston before inserting them into the syringes for the smooth movement. Now, try to compress the content by pushing the piston in each syringe. What you have to do in this activity, you have to take 3 syringes of 100 ml each and seal all the syringes with a rubber cork. Leave first syringe as it is. In the second and third syringe, first take out the piston. This is the piston. And fill chalk pieces in second syringe and water in the third. Now again, put the piston back. You may also apply some Vaseline on the piston so that it will function smoothly when we press it. Now, what did you observe from the above activity? In which case was the piston easily pushed in? Obviously, the piston was easily pushed in the first case, in which only the air was present. What do you infer from your observations? We have observed that gases are highly compressible as compared to solids and liquids. The liquefied petroleum gas cylinder that we get in our home for cooking or the oxygen supplied to hospitals in cylinder is compressed gas. हमने इसमें ये ऑब्जर्व किया जो गैसेस है वो बहुत आराम से कंप्रेस हम उसे कर सकते हैं, जबकि सॉलिड्स और लिक्विड्स को कंप्रेस करना थोड़ा डिफ़िकल्ट होता है. जो लिक्विफाइड पेट्रोलियम गैस होती है एलपीजी, जो हमारे घरों में यूज़ होती है कुकिंग के लिए, और या फिर जो ऑक्सीजन सप्लाई करते हैं हॉस्पिटल्स में सिलेंडर्स में जो ऑक्सीजन सप्लाई करते हैं पेशेंट्स के लिए, वो कंप्रेस्ड गैस होती है. Compressed natural gas is used as fuel these days in vehicles. Compressed natural gas, also known as CNG, is used in the vehicles. Due to its high compressibility, large volume of gas can be compressed into a small cylinder and transported easily. As we know, gases have high compressibility. So, CNG also has high compressibility. Because of its high compressibility, we can fill a large amount of gas in a small cylinder. We come to know of what is being cooked in the kitchen without even entering there by the smell that reaches our nostrils. How does this smell reach us? Now, you have observed when your mother cooks food in the kitchen, while sitting at a distance in your bedroom, you can smell that something good is being cooked in the kitchen. How does it happen? You are not standing in the kitchen, you are far away from there. The particles of the aroma of food mix with particles of air spread from the kitchen. Now, the particles of the fragrance of food which is being cooked gets hot and it rises up. As you know, hot air rises up. Hot air rises up. It rises up and gets mixed with the air present in the surrounding of the kitchen. So we are able to detect the smell of the food being cooked in the kitchen even if we are sitting far off from the kitchen. Smell of hot cooked food reaches us in seconds. Compare this with the rate of diffusion of solids and liquids. Due to high rate of particles and large space between them, gases show the property of diffusing very fast into other gases. Now, we can say that gases can diffuse into other gases very easily. In the gaseous state, particles move about randomly at high speed. Particles can move very freely in gaseous states. Due to this random movement, particles hit each other and also the walls of container. The pressure exerted by the gas is because of this force exerted by gas particles per unit area on the walls of container. Now what this paragraph says? This paragraph says the random movement of particles means the particle of gas moves freely. So the container in which the gas is stored, it hits the walls of the container on the container in which it is stored, due to which pressure is exerted on the container. So because of this, force exerted by gas particles per unit area on the walls of container. In figure 1.5, you can see particles of solid are very tightly packed. Particles of liquid are loosely packed. But particles of gases are very loosely packed. Solve these questions and let me know the answers to these questions in the comments below. For any queries, ask me in the comment section and I will reply to each and every comment as soon as possible. So that's all for today. If you like the video, don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Meet you again in my next video. Till then, take care. Bye bye.